Our next speaker led projects at Boston Science and Google and is the founder of Loopring and the president of the Loopring Foundation. So give it up for Daniel Wang.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Wang. I came from the Loopring Foundation. And today I'm going to give you a very short introduction to Loopring protocol. So before I start, how many of you have ever heard of Loopring? Please raise your hand. Thank you. Wow. So what is Loopring? Loopring is a protocol for building decentralized token exchange. But unlike a lot of other projects, we are not a platform. We are not an exchange per se. We are a set of data standards, a set of rules that have been encoded into a smart contract. And we are also a set of software that build around this smart contract. So altogether, it provides a solution for you, the developer, to set up your own decentralized exchange. And you have this option, you have this option to run a decentralized exchange by yourself. You can go solo, and you can choose to be part of our decentralized exchange network. I will talk about that later. Okay. So Loopring was initially designed to solve the problems that centralized exchanges have and cannot solve. Namely, lack of security, which means that when you put your money on top of the centralized exchange, you are going to have a lot of risks. That includes, the owner of the exchange run away with your money, right? Or the owner got kidnapped. And the biggest challenge is that the large exchanges are being hacked constantly, right? And I have this belief. These exchanges, no matter how successful they seem to be, one day or another, they will be hacked. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when they are going to be hacked. Lack of transparency. The operators or the owners of the centralized exchange, they are sometimes incentivized to take advantage of their own access to all the data, to maybe manipulate the market price for their own benefit, right? I'm not saying that they are going to do that, but they can. I think that's the problem. Lack of liquidity. You know how many exchanges we have, centralized ones? Over 100, maybe hundreds, right? And in order to get access to the liquidity, you need to register an account on each of those, right? And you have to do deposit. And sometimes it takes hours, sometimes it takes days, right? It depends on their manpower. It also depends on the blockchain, the volume of the transactions. So Loopring wants to enable people to trade trustlessly, meaning that you only have to trust the open source tool of the project. You can also trade in an anonymous way, meaning that you don't have to register, you don't have to go through KYC. You only need a private key, and that's your key to decentralized exchange. And of course, all your assets are under your own control. So there's nobody that can have any access to your crypto assets. But is it only for people that this protocol is designed for? Probably not. We're also thinking about robots, or something we call smart agents. Actually, I personally envision a future. There's something we call cyber economy, where smart agents are powered by artificial intelligence. They not only have digital IDs, they have this sense of ownership. They own their body parts, they own their operating system, their algorithms, and they provide service to get crypto tokens to upgrade their body parts operating system to evolve. And eventually, they are going to do business with human beings, and they also will do business with each other, right? This is not sci-fi. If you thought about this future, I suggest you check out some sci-fi movie made 20 years ago, and you will say, and this director is not a visionary, So never underestimate the impact that new technology will have over our lifestyle or the overall economy. So these smart agents will think, they will own, and they will trade. How do they trade? I think Loopring, we can say this. Loopring is also designed for the future exchange of values for the cyber economy. With all this said, how exactly does Loopring work, right? We have these fancy stories, but do we have the solutions? So Loopring enables everyone to trade, to submit orders by signing their orders using their own private key. And these orders are going to be broadcasted into a permissioned blockchain system or network, or consortium blockchain network. So every node in this permissioned blockchain is going to have access to each and every order. And you can also run a software we call a relay. This relay is going to consume all the orders they detected inside the blocks of this permissioned blockchain. And they are going to build a local database of orders, or an order book, right? And this order book will have almost all the orders inside this permissioned blockchain. The relay has a feature we call ring mining. Basically, it's a process of finding tradable orders. And once these tradable orders are found, they can be put into something we call a ring, an order ring. The ring is actually a payload of a Ethereum or Neo transaction to the public blockchain, right? This public blockchain can be Ethereum, can be any blockchain that runs smart contract. So as a developer, as a decentralized exchange operator, you can choose to run only the wallet. And you will become like a mobile app wallet, right? You may want to do some advertisement for income. You don't have to run the rest of this network, because you can allow users to choose which relay node or which blockchain node their orders are going to submit it to, right? You can also run the wallet, the relay, without running this consortium blockchain. Then you go solo. You are a decentralized exchange. You are not going to share liquidity with other DEX. But we think it's a better idea for a decentralized exchange to join another group to share liquidity, to combine together. They have a better competitive advantage. Of course, this is permissioned. That means somebody is going to control who is going to be accepted as a member of this blockchain, right? But since all the software are open sourced, you can set up your own, very own blockchain for sharing orders. If you have friends, you can just set up your own blockchain system. So you are going to have your own decentralized exchange network. So in the future, we as a foundation, we are not going to run this software. We are going to bootstrap this environment and demonstrate to people who are interested in our protocol. But finally, we are not going to be part of this operation. So with the introduction of a tokenization service, or the Anchor solution mentioned by another speaker, Loopring is also going to be able to handle token exchange or value exchange for cryptocurrencies on another blockchain, or even the fiat money, or stable coins. So what is an order ring? To put you into a perspective, I think I'd better give you a concrete example. Let's say you have 3 orders. The first order is not going to match with any other order, because there's no 2 orders fall into the same market, right? But with Loopring, we can put them together in a circular way. So each order in this ring, ignore this one first. So each order is going to pay the next order in the ring. So we can handle up to 10 orders in a ring. But I think 2 or 3 is the most reasonable. And the miner got paid as a transaction fee. And in the future, when our next version released, whoever submitted this order for the user, or wallets, they are going to be paid as well. They are going to be paid like 20% of the mining fee. So miner got 80%, wallet get 20%. So everybody get happy, right? Loopring is also blockchain agnostic. That means it can be deployed on any public blockchain that are capable of running smart contracts. So we have already deployed Loopring on top of Ethereum, and Neo is something that we are working on right now. So we expect to deploy the first version on top of Neo by the end of April. And it is our strategy to make sure this protocol is deployed on top of the most popular blockchains, maybe up to 10 popular blockchains. So in the future, no matter which one win in the long run, as an investor to our token, they will have a better chance of to win as well. We did our ICO back in August last year. We have already deployed the first version on top of Ethereum. We also have a working product which doesn't really provide a good user experience. But luckily, we have the second version of the software designed. So it's a web-based application. We also offer a iOS and Android app. And our software is busy working on the Relay new infrastructure, namely the consortium blockchain solution to share liquidities. So we are coming to Neo to help all the projects on top of Neo to trade their NEP5 standard tokens. Loopring is not a cross-chain protocol, unfortunately. So on every target blockchain, we need to issue a new token. For Neo, it's called LRN, Loopring on Neo. So last night we posted a Medium post. So we are going to airdrop 60% of all the token supply to current Loopring token holders. So that means we are going to bring a lot of people from the Ethereum ecosystem back to the Neo ecosystem. So that's all about Loopring. I think Loopring is very easy to understand because it is very simple. It has a very targeted problem. We have a solid solution. It will take us about maybe 2 or 3 months to deliver a really user-friendly wallet so that you can experience using Loopring to trade your tokens, both on Ethereum and Neo. Thank you.